There are moments when you walk into a room, and without saying a single word, every head gently turns in your direction. Not because you're trying to be seen, not because you're loud or demanding, but because something subtle within you shifts the atmosphere. A quiet vibration, invisible to the eyes, undeniable to the soul. This mysterious pull is what Carl Jung referred to as the power of personality. A magnetic field we might describe as a strong aura. You can't touch it with your hands, you can't measure it with logic. It's a frequency your spirit broadcasts, one that others feel instinctively, sometimes with curiosity, sometimes with discomfort. A powerful aura can't be faked. It doesn't come from performance, exaggerated confidence, or social masks. It's born from the courage to live in alignment with your truth, to stand rooted in who you are beneath expectations and roles. When someone embodies their inner truth, their presence becomes magnetic, not because they chase attention, but because authenticity radiates through every breath, every pause, every silent moment. It evokes deep, unfiltered reactions in others: fascination, resistance, admiration, even fear. That's what differentiates a strong aura from ordinary charm. Charm speaks to the surface. Aura speaks to the soul. Jung often linked this phenomenon to what he called the self, the whole integrated essence that lives beyond the ego. Imagine the self as a hidden spring deep within your psyche. Your aura is the water rising from that source. It's not about perfection. It's not about superiority. It's about being so grounded in who you truly are that your presence carries meaning, even when you say nothing at all. And for people who haven't yet met their own truth, that can feel overwhelming, even threatening, because in you they glimpse something they've been ignoring in themselves. A strong aura is never meant to control or manipulate. It's a byproduct of inner work, of growth, maturity, and the willingness to be real even when it's uncomfortable. In fact, many people with powerful presence have known isolation, jealousy, projection, and conflict. Their presence is like a mirror. It reflects not only beauty, but also shadows. This is why living with such energy is both a gift and a test. There is something inside us that can't be imitated. It's not built from compliments or social approval. It whispers rather than shouts. Authenticity. Jung taught that the true self emerges when we finally remove the masks meant to protect our ego. The masks we wear to be liked, accepted, admired. Your authentic self isn't something you need to craft. It's your natural state when you stop pretending. And authenticity is the true engine behind a powerful aura, an invisible magnetic field that others feel. That's why it can be disarming. Authenticity dissolves ego defenses. It reminds us that truth exists beyond image. And not everyone is ready for that reminder. People with intense auras are not fearless gods. They doubt, they ache, they get lonely. But their strength lies in the return to themselves. They refuse to abandon their truth for comfort, silence, or acceptance. Their authenticity isn't loud. It doesn't scream, "Look at me." It burns quietly, warming those brave enough to sit close and stinging those who run from their own reflection. Jung believed authenticity illuminates our shadows, and that's why it is rare and unforgettable. Deep down, every person longs to be seen for who they truly are, without roles, without masks, without conditions. But alongside that longing lies fear, the fear of being rejected once we are finally visible. Someone with a powerful aura awakens this inner conflict in others. They are like a beam of light in a fog, liberating for some, exposing for others. Some that light feels like freedom. Others a threat. Because not everyone is ready to face their own truth. And that's why authenticity doesn't just attract, it separates. It quietly reveals who is willing to grow with you and who still needs to learn how to grow within themselves first. The world speaks in subtle signals, long before words ever form. They show up in glances, in pauses, in invisible shifts of body language. If you carry a strong aura, you may not realize how often you alter the emotional temperature of a room just by being in it. Your presence is like dropping a stone into still water. The ripples move outward, even in silence. People with powerful energy frequently notice patterns that repeat too consistently to ignore. One of the earliest signs is eye contact. Some individuals struggle to look directly at you, not because you're intimidating, but because meeting your eyes feels like looking into a mirror. And that mirror doesn't reflect the mask. It reflects the truth beneath it. Another sign is misunderstanding. Your actions, your tone, even your silence can be misinterpreted through someone else's wounds. You may speak gently and still be labeled harsh. You may act kindly but be accused of arrogance. A strong aura does not conform to stereotypes, and that alone disrupts the mental boxes people rely on. So they invent stories to explain the way you make them feel. You may notice conversations shift when you enter. Some become quieter. Others grow nervous. A few suddenly relax, finally feeling safe enough to breathe. Your energy isn't passive. It activates what already exists inside each person. Many will feel seen in your presence, exposed without you saying a word. Your energy functions like a psychic mirror, revealing both beauty and buried pain. Some individuals will instantly trust you, confiding secrets they've hidden for years. Others will pull away, grow cold, or distance themselves with no explanation. They often don't understand why. Children and animals, however, are drawn to you naturally. They sense authenticity like warmth. People either deeply admire you or can't make sense of you at all. There is rarely a middle ground. Your quiet is louder than most people's talking. Your relationships tend to be intense, whether positive or challenging. And at times you feel a heaviness because carrying so much awareness is exhausting. Every one of these signs is a whisper from your inner being, reminding you that your impact comes from who you are, not from what you do. This power can feel lonely. It can lead to misunderstanding. Yet it is still a gift for you and for the world. In a culture obsessed with image, achievement, and applause, true authenticity is like bright light in eyes trained to darkness. You don't have to speak or prove anything. Your presence itself reveals truth. And that's precisely where tension begins. Those who are deeply identified with ego, with roles, titles, personas, often experience your presence as a threat. Not because you try to intimidate, but because their defenses can't hold up in the face of something real. Jung called this shadow projection, the unconscious process of placing our denied qualities onto someone else. The ego is not evil. It helps us function and survive. But when ego becomes the whole identity, it grows fragile and anxious. Anything that exposes its cracks is treated as danger. So some people respond with irritation, sarcasm, dismissiveness, or sudden distance. Others go silent. Your presence reminds them that beneath their mask lies something more vulnerable and more true. That reminder can sting. It's not uncommon for people who once admired you to later feel defensive or even hostile. Why? Because authenticity initially feels liberating, like a breath of fresh air. But liberation requires letting go of the cage. And not everyone is ready to open the door. When your presence begins to loosen someone's defenses, resistance soon follows. People may project their buried fears, insecurities, and shadows onto you. They might call you arrogant, cold, self-absorbed, or proud. But what they're truly fighting is their reflection. This reaction isn't personal. It's an unconscious attempt to protect a fragile identity from breaking open. So while rejection stings and misjudgment hurts, remember, you're not the cause. You're simply the catalyst. Carrying a strong aura means accepting that not everyone will meet you with open arms. Sometimes you'll trigger conflicts that have nothing to do with you. Your authenticity can be a reminder, painful for some, of the treasure they've ignored within themselves. It is not your job to shrink so others feel comfortable. You are not here to soothe someone else's fear of their own potential. Your role is to remain aligned with your truth, even when others misunderstand it. Some will celebrate your strength. Others will condemn it. Either way, it speaks more about their journey than yours. Your light was never meant to be universally approved, only genuine. There is silence that feels peaceful, and silence that feels heavy. Heavy silence is born the moment you become too much for someone still hiding behind their mask. Too intense, too honest, too real. And although that hurts, it offers a gift. It shows you who stands beside your soul, not your persona. The isolation of a strong spirit is not emptiness. It's a sacred clearing. In those quiet spaces, when the noise falls away, you begin to hear your heartbeat without interference. You rediscover value that was never dependent on applause, opinions, or belonging. Jung taught that individuation, becoming your full, whole self, will pull you away from the herd. Authenticity demands solitude. It asks us to face the mirror without distraction. Yet within that solitude, we find clarity, peace, and resilience. When we endure it, we emerge into relationships that feel deeper, freer, smarter, truer. We draw in people who don't ask us to dilute ourselves, mute our power, or dim our glow. We attract those who love our essence, not our mask. But those connections arrive only after we've proven we can stand alone. You will doubt yourself. You will feel tired. But each step in solitude makes you stronger, more connected to your core than ever before. To embrace your power means refusing to apologize for existing. It means no longer shrinking your edges to fit someone else's container. It means standing tall in your radiance, even if that radiance is blinding to those afraid of their own. However, owning your power doesn't require building walls of superiority. It doesn't mean becoming cold, untouchable, or condescending. True strength is quiet, humble, open-hearted. It's the ability to remain yourself while still loving others, even when they can't yet love the parts of you they refuse to see in themselves. It's knowing how to stay rooted without closing your doors. A powerful aura is a gift, but only if handled with consciousness. Without awareness, intensity can wound, can slip into ego. It can divide. So learn when to speak and when silence says more. Learn how to soften your energy without abandoning it. Be a lighthouse, not a spotlight. Guide by being, not directing. Those who are ready will find you. Those who are not will drift away. Both outcomes are correct. Patience is part of the path. The world awakens slowly. Hearts open gradually. You may walk stretches of the journey unseen, unrecognized, misunderstood. But every glance, every word, every authentic moment plants a seed. You may never witness the harvest, but it will grow all the same. Accepting your strength is not selfishness, it's service. It's evidence that living truthfully, gently, and bravely is possible. For those willing to see, your presence becomes permission. Permission to breathe, to unfold, to be real. A potent aura isn't accidental, nor is it a weapon. It's a sign that you dare to remove your mask, break inherited narratives, and face yourself in full. Your presence whispers, I am here, imperfect, real, whole. And whether you notice it or not, that authenticity reshapes the world around you. Sometimes your light will warm, Sometimes it will scare. Some will lean closer. Some will run. But you were never meant to be accepted by everyone. You were meant to shine honestly. Do not lose faith in truth. Do not abandon authenticity. Do not water down your existence to make others comfortable. Whenever doubt creeps in, whenever loneliness whispers, remember, you are not alone. Across the world, other quiet beams are moving through the dark. Your glow is a signal to them, and their glow is a signal back to you. Be the lighthouse, not because you have to, but because you simply cannot be anything else. So remember this, a powerful aura isn't about control over others. It's about mastery of yourself. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to understand who you truly are. If someone's presence shakes you, it's because they awaken something inside you that's been sleeping. And if you shake others, it's because you're already living a truth they're not ready to face. Hold your light. Do not dim it. Do not shrink to fit anyone's comfort. The world doesn't need more masks. It needs people bold enough to be real. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe for more gentle reminders of your inner power.